Let's learn a new sound. The sound of soft C, as in the word lace. Lace. Look at this word. What sound does the C make in that word? Yes, it says k, doesn't it? You're used to reading words where the C says k, as in cake. But look at these words. Let's try to read these words using the k sound. Kent, Kenter, Keller. Do those words make sense? No, they don't, do they? So this is when you would be a word detective, right? And you would remind yourself, there is another sound that C makes. And what is that sound? I think you already know it, don't you? It is the S sound. There are times when C will say S, and we call it soft C. Let's try to read these words using S instead of K. S, ent, scent. S, enter, center. Eller, seller. Do those words make sense? Yes, they do, don't they? Now you might be looking at that word scent and thinking, wait a minute, I thought the word scent begins with an S. Well, you're right, there is a scent that begins with an S. If I said, I sent my daughter to the store. But that is not what this word is. This word is a penny, 1 cent. Center can mean in the middle of something. And cellar is a small room that can be underneath a house or a building where you can keep things cold. Scent, center, cellar. Do you notice what letter is paired with the C in all of these words? You're right, it is E. When you see C and E paired up as a team, it is likely that the C is going to say S. This can also happen at the end of words. Look at these words. Okay, if we read these words with the soft C sound, because notice the C and the E are paired together, this time at the end of the word. But when you're a word detective, you know it's going to make that S sound. So let's read these words using that sound. Ace, face. Ace, grace. Ice, mice. Do you notice what sound the vowel is making in all of these words? Yes, it is making the long sound, isn't it? And do you know why? You know why, don't you? Because of the E at the end of the word. So the CE paired together, it made C say S. But that E is also doing its job at the end of the word. It is making the vowel do what? It is making the vowel say its name. And then the E is silent. Face, grace, mice. Well, just like in a lot of our sounds, there are a couple of exceptions to the rule. Most of the time you'll see CE at the beginning of words and at the end of words, and the vowel will say its name like that. But there are some times where the vowel will not be long. The vowel will be short. Let's look at a few more words. So let's look at the word prince. And fence. And dance. Okay, in these words, you don't hear the long vowel sound, do you? What sound do you hear? You're right, you hear the short vowel sound. Prince, I. Fence, dance, Do you think you can look at those words? What do you think is making the difference in these words? Do you see the N right in the middle of all three of these words? Yes, it is the N that is coming between the vowel and the CE. And when you have a letter that comes between the vowel and the CE, the vowel will no longer say its name. It's going to make its short sound. Isn't that interesting? So there are a couple other letters that can be in words with this soft C sound. So look at these words. Cinder, lacy, fancy. Now cinder, you might be thinking a cinder, like I sent someone and I am the sender. That is not what this word is. This is like a cinder block. So it's a different use of that C and S sound again, okay? So cinder, lacy, fancy. All right, well, what letters do you notice joining together with the C here? You don't see a CE, do you? But what do you see here? CI. Now these are less common. Most of the time you're going to see C joining together with the E. But here you have CI. Look at that second word. You have CY. And then in the last word, you also have CY. In lacy, what is the vowel doing? What sound is it making? It's saying its name, isn't it? Okay, and you might think, that's interesting. It doesn't have an E at the end. You're right, but remember that sneaky Y can sometimes act like a vowel. So it's acting like an E at the end, and it's making the A say its name. And then in fancy, the A is making a short sound. Those are a few exceptions to the rule. All right, well, that is an introduction to the soft C sound. Today you're going to work on lesson 95, do the worksheet A and B, and that will help to check for your understanding and see if you are getting the soft C sound. And we will be reading a lot of these words coming up soon.